Let me begin by thanking Nan Brasmer, Haney Kelly, and Rich Fiesla for inviting me to be with you today. I especially want to thank the 950,000 members of the California Alliance for Retired Americans for all that you do each and every day on behalf of the American people. Over the past 25 years, I've been proud to stand by the side of the Alliance for Retired Americans to improve the lives of seniors and to make certain that everyone in this country can retire with the dignity and the respect they deserve after a lifetime of hard work. As all of you know, this year marks the 80th anniversary of Social Security, the most successful government program in our nation's history. While Social Security is taken for granted today, let us not forget that before it was signed into law, nearly half of all senior citizens in our country were living in poverty. Today, while much too high, the senior poverty rate is just 10%. Despite this success, not very long ago, virtually every Republican and even some Democrats were talking about cutting Social Security by enacting a so-called chained CPI. They told us that cost of living adjustments for seniors were just too generous and needed to be cut. Well, tell that to the millions of seniors this year who are not going to get any COLA at all. Maybe a zero COLA is just too generous. Well, I don't think so. What we did is a couple of years ago is, along with the ARA, we fought back. And I formed the Defending Social Security Caucus, and we worked with the Alliance for Retired Americans and other senior organizations, labor organizations, veterans organizations, women's groups, and the disabled. And as a result of this extraordinary grassroots movement, we were able to beat back the effort to cut Social Security. And that effort, as you know, was funded by Wall Street billionaires and some of the most powerful CEOs in this country. The rich get richer, and apparently they feel it is appropriate to try to cut Social Security. I myself don't quite understand how anybody can be doing that, but that is what they're doing. Today, the good news is that the overwhelming majority of the American people not only oppose cutting Social Security, they want to move us in a very different direction. They support expanding Social Security benefits by scrapping the cap on taxable income. Yet, unfortunately, we have Republicans like Jeb Bush and Chris Christie who have proposed raising the retirement age to 69 or 70 and slashing Social Security benefits. Well, I have a hard time understanding what world these Republicans and their billionaire campaign contributors live in. The truth is that today, over half of older workers between 55 and 64 have no retirement savings at all. Zero, none. Today, millions of seniors are trying to survive on $12,000 or $13,000 a year. And quite frankly, I don't know how they do it on those type of incomes. Today, only 1 out of every 5 workers in this country has a defined benefit pension plan. The fact of the matter is that America doesn't have a Social Security crisis. America has a retirement crisis. The Republican plan to cut Social Security is a continuation of the 40-year war that is being waged against working-class Americans, and we together cannot allow them to get away with it. At a time when the average Social Security benefit is just $1,328 a month, and when senior poverty is going up, our job must be to expand benefits, not to cut that. And the way to do that is by demanding that the wealthiest people in this country pay their fair share into Social Security. Right now, a billionaire pays the same amount of money into Social Security as someone who makes $118,500. That is not right, that is just not fair, and that has got to change. We have got to scrap the cap. We have got to apply the Social Security payroll tax on all income above $250,000 a year. And by doing this, not only will we make Social Security solvent for the next 50 years, we will also be able to expand benefits to those people who are hurting the most. Now, when we talk about the health of our people, let us never forget that before Medicare was signed into law in 1965, about half of all senior citizens in America were uninsured and millions more were underinsured. But for the past 50 years, thanks to Medicare, virtually every senior citizen in this country has health insurance. Brothers and sisters, let me be as clear as I can be. We will never go back to the days when elderly Americans could not get the health care that they needed because they could not afford it. We will not force senior citizens to purchase health insurance from private companies whose only concern is to make as much money as they possibly can. Instead of cutting Medicare, instead of privatizing Medicare, the United States must join every other major nation on earth and make health care a right of all people, not just a privilege. We must move toward a Medicare for all single-payer plan, which covers every man, woman, and child in this country. And I look forward to working with all of you to make that a reality. It is time to rebuild the disappearing middle class. It is time to reduce the obscene and grotesque level of income and wealth inequality in America. It is time to make sure that all Americans can enjoy a secure retirement and quality health care. Working together, we will make government work for all of our people, not just a handful of billionaires. Thank you very much for all that you do. Let's go forward together.